I'd like to call the Albany Selectmen meeting of February 21st, 2024 to order at 5:30 p.m. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. New business. Approval of February 7th Selectmen meeting minutes. This includes the 2024 budget public hearing minutes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second?
Discussion. Call it to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Approval of the February 21, 2024 consent file, review and sign manifest in the amount of $4,487.91. This includes accounts payable and payroll manifest for 2/14. The manifest for 2/21 will be included with the next consent file as both the treasurer and deputy are out of state. Review and approve residential building permit for a residential space above previously approved 4-car garage at 1060 Bald Hill Road.
I make a motion to approve the consent file.
I second.
I just have one question on the building permit. Okay. Is there an existing residential home?
So this is the one that's subdivided. So what they did was, I think it's map 7 lot 120 subdivide. So they built a house on map 7 lot 120. They built a garage on map 7 lot 120, and they had a building permit for that. The owners of 120.
Because it was just
and
a
then
garage.
they subdivided, right. It was a 4-bay garage. It was a 2-bay and then it got extended to a 4-bay garage. And then they wanted to get a driveway permit to the garage and a residential space over. And I told them they could not because they can't have 2 residences on one lot. So now they've been through the whole planning board process. The planning board numbered that lot, map 7 lot 120-1, but Jason changed it to map 7 lot 124 because he doesn't want.
That's fine.
I didn't care. I just wanted to make sure that's what it's filed at the registry.
I just wanted to make sure that it's conforming.
It is now because it's a separate lot. It has a approved
So
driveway
the only
permit.
thing on that lot is the garage with the residential.
It's going to have a
proposed-
residence over it.
Okay.
And it's actually his son and daughter-in-law bought the subdivided off piece.
Okay.
And he's a contractor and built the garage and now is finishing the second floor for residential space. Yes,
Any
it does
discussion?
comply.
Nope.
I'll call to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Who made the motion? So sorry. You two again?
I did.
No.
To consent file? No.
Oh, no, I did the consent file. You did.
Sorry.
I just did the
question.
talking.
All right.
As usual.
I'm caught up.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Review and approve the unsigned yield tax warrant for map 6, lot 25, NH Route 16.
He should not make that motion.
Oh,
'Cause
so
it's
I
his.
will. I'll make a motion to approve the yield tax warrant for map 6, lot 25.
I second it.
Discussion. You have any discussion?
No.
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Are you abstaining?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am.
Hey.
I thought you might.
Review and discuss final version of the Albany Hazard Mitigation Plan. I think it looks fine and dandy.
I reviewed it. I had a couple of typos and I'm just gonna give her, if she wants to fix them, they're minor. One of them says that the road agent is appointed and he's elected. It's just small
That's
stuff.
Minor.
She wants the chairman to sign off on it, so I'm just going to say, because she had Jen Spofford and now it's you. So I'm gonna say that the Board of Selectmen approved it.
As long as before March 12th.
Yes, and if not, then I will have to find out who the chair is so that it can, it's gonna be a little bit of a slippery slope there.
That's fine. And with that, don't we have the EOP coming up as well?
The EOP should have been done this year, but we did not apply for the grant.
Oh.
I do have an appointment with Chris. So I have not seen, I've got to say, I've never seen this in all my years of doing this. And I was the public information officer for 10 years in Wakefield and Greenville. I've never not seen an HSEM rep, and they finally called me today. They're meeting with Conway in March, and so they wanted me to tag along to that meeting, and I'm like, I don't want to listen to all of Conway's stuff. I don't need to know, and I have my own stuff, so I'm going to talk to our new rep. We set up a meeting in April, and I'm going to apply for the grant so we can do it in 2025, and we'll be one year
enough.
behind.
Good enough. All right. Review, discuss, and approve and sign payment in lieu of taxes letter to Tin Mountain for 2024. Make a motion to approve and sign the payment in lieu of taxes letter to Tin Mountain.
Second.
Discussion?
Nope.
It basically agreed to pay the municipal portion of their taxes because they are exempt.
And they're 1 year behind, so I take 2023's assessed value and 2023's town portion of the tax rate, and they pay that in 2024. So they're like 1 year behind, and it's a
And
payment.
that's normal. That's
If you have a pilot agreement, payment in lieu of taxes, we don't. That's the only one we have. So
Discussion?
No.
Call to a vote, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Review and approve supplement intent to cut for town forest timbering. Make a motion to approve the supplement intent for the cut for town forest.
Second that.
Discussion, I would like to ask why. They just cut more?
yeah, he said it just turned out to be more than he thought, and he also brought in the tear sheets of what he sold for the Conservation Commission. But I also made a copy for our file just so.
I'm just wondering where maybe the slips might be for the other warrant that we just signed.
We don't always get the slips. That first
Maybe you
warrant.
could reach
for
out to
his
him
warrant.
for the slips and why he didn't submit his supplemental.
To hit for
He should be submitting a supplemental
who?
to Nolan.
For that first cut?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Tim Nolan did that one.
I thought you said he did.
No, he did the town forest one.
Oh.
I don't know who did that other cut,
Okay,
but
that's fine.
DRA
I thought it
told
was
me
him.
not to reach out to him, that it was not the town's responsibility. We should not be doing that. It's their responsibility, so I didn't intrude. If you want me to reach out to him, I will, but
Nope, that's
DRA told me not
That's
to.
fine. Town administrator's report.
So the only thing I have this week is I've got to post the budget and the MS 636 by the 26th. So I needed you guys to, and other than what you changed at the budget public hearing, I had that language in red. You added MS 30 or RSA 31:113 until rescinded. And then the two petition warrant articles that you aren't supporting because you didn't get the documentation your policy requires. So that, nothing changed on that. And honestly, nothing changed in the budget at all because you just made those changes to the warrant. So I assume you guys signed those for me. But I'm going to check before you leave the building.
Yeah.
Because
I would check.
Our appointment is
With.
the brand new Conway Village Fire Chief, Bill Remington.
drum roll.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I just wanted to come down, say hi, meet you guys. I was talking to Kathy the other day at Town Hall and realized I hadn't really stopped in. I've been the assistant chief under Steve for the last, not quite a year and a half, since July of 22. Obviously, he ended up retiring a little bit before I originally planned. And in that event in January, I took over as the new chief. So, answer any questions or?
What is your history?
My history, so I've got, this is my 20th year in fire and EMS. I've been with Conway, it's 9 and change, it'll be 10 years at the end of this year. Part-time most of that, paramedic, firefighter with them. Worked primarily as a full-time paramedic, but I've always been on the fire side. I started with Freiburg when I was 16, 17 as a junior. So, been around it the whole time, grew up in the valley. So, working on filling some of our our ranks. We had some departures. As of the first full week of March, we'll be back to full staff. Fill the full-time positions, including working on filling the assistant chief spot to replace me moving up. That should be filled next week, and we're moving forward.
Great.
So things are slowly but surely smoothing out. I've moved to the office next door and finding the paperwork and moving forward. So
They're gonna smooth out till they don't.
right, I'm sure something will pop up.
Well.
Oh, well, the dissolution is gonna be
But yeah, it was just
cannot wait.
Yeah.
so here I am. So if you have any questions, by all means, just so you guys are aware, the number for me, Steve's former phone number, was the chief's phone. So if you need to reach out to me, you can. That number is active and will go to me.
Awesome.
So, or call the office.
Thank you.
So
I appreciate that.
Appreciate you coming
We
in.
appreciate the
problem.
Yeah.
service,
Yeah.
honestly.
is there anything else I can answer for
We're-
you guys?
We're
or
very
anything?
active down here, so
Yeah.
we really appreciate
What was
it.
the engine doing down here today?
There was a small fire on a car. It was,
I'm out front, and I was like, oh.
they came down here to turn around, but there was a car that had a small fire on the due to a mechanical issue on the side of 16. So came down, resolved that, and they went back. So
Are you
nothing too
very
exciting.
familiar with our town, like the roads and?
Yeah, I mean, having been here enough
That's what I-
years,
yeah.
I'm pretty comfortable. I mean, there's always the small road that you're like, I know I've seen that somewhere, but
Yeah,
you know, I'm pretty familiar with the Albany area, having grown up in the valley. It's
Right.
not so.
Right.
Yeah, looking forward to
Did you
a good
Graduate
season.
from Freiburg or kind
Freiburg.
of down to personal? But
So,
and what year was
and
that?
2004.
Do one of your daughters know him?
But, and I have my bachelor's through Franklin Pierce. It's actually in EMS administration.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
So,
So is that a normal succession? I mean, you didn't have to get.
so yeah,
You
when
just-
I was hired
Yeah.
as the assistant chief, the general plan was that in preparation for Steve's known eventual retirement
Yeah.
was to institute a full-time assistant chief to start learning everything that
Good.
needed to be done. That was expedited a little bit, obviously. We thought we had a little longer than we did. But, you know, I was fortunate enough to, you know, had some time to do that transition. So
Yeah.
there's still, you know, obviously questions. And I can reach out to them when I need to.
Just nice.
When I can't find a piece of paperwork I'm looking for, or who to call for this and that. But the plan is, you know, I'll fill the assistant chief spot to help me out with the day-to-day inspections, paperwork, staff management, that kind of stuff. And that position has been offered and will be officially filled once we get through our commissioners meeting tomorrow night, and hopefully starting next week. So we've got some new firefighter EMTs. They're a couple of them are on the younger side, but they're learning and they're doing really well. So they're excited to do some additional training and getting caught up. So.
It's great to get some of the younger ones in.
Yeah, it's good because it's been tough to do some recruiting.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we've recently pulled a few new call people in and a few new full-time. Some of the new full-timers started as call people. They're local.
Right.
So that's been a nice change to be able to do some of the recruitment on the call side for full-time staff.
Nice.
So they know the area and that stuff.
Yeah, that's.
While I got you in the hot seat,
Sure.
and talking with Steve over the years, one of the biggest issues that I could never understand, well, I kind of understand, is that when you get called out on the cank
Mm-hmm.
and you're supposed to bill the people, Steve said he has a heck of a time collecting on that. And then we end up paying.
So you're talking like carryouts?
Yeah.
So
This was from years ago, and I never heard how that. Am I off?
So we have not charged in the past for rescues off the trail.
Yeah.
That's a fishing game.
Well, this is
charge.
more people that are. Low Falls has always been
Yeah,
the
yeah.
place where people twist an ankle and
Mhm.
And die.
well, and that too. Yeah.
So yeah, we historically we haven't charged for any of that. The charge would come if we transport somebody. They get the ambulance charge as if anyone else would.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
That's what it is?
He was
Yeah,
talking
and
Yeah,
so
the
we
ambulance
bill,
charge.
we bill, you know, if we transport them to the hospital, it'll
Yeah.
be the normal billing practice for the ambulance transport.
Right.
We haven't historically, that I'm aware of in my history, charged for rescues per se. The Fish and Game does have a
So it's a
clause.
transport. I know it's
Yeah.
something, yeah.
So yeah, I could go back and pull the numbers for the Kank. It's, you know, it's hit or miss. We don't go up there a lot in the winter.
Yeah.
Occasionally we'll do a snowmobile crash up in Bear Notch.
Yeah.
You know, knock on wood, I don't think we've been up there yet this year, but last year we were up there quite a bit. That kind of goes in spurts depending on how the winter's going.
Yeah.
And obviously the summer is busy up there.
Yeah.
Fish and Game will a lot of times primarily try to handle the carry-out portion
Mhm.
of the backcountry calls, you know, Shakora, things like that. They'll use Lakes Region Search and Rescue
Mhm.
and those volunteer agencies that they have agreements with, Solo, Mountain Rescue.
Yeah.
And unless there's a medical something that they need us to go in with, we'll support them as needed, but generally they'll try to do the carry out to us.
Yeah.
And then we'll meet them up there with the ambulance. If they need a medical team, we'll try to send a medical team and then also maintain some level of coverage in town because obviously other calls still happen.
Right.
So it's kind of a mix based on what the call is, where it is, what they have for resources, what we have for resources. We talk to them and we'll kind of try to supplement. But a lot of times we're finding that we're doing a majority of the medical side of it. If somebody needs care, they're doing the physical carry out, so we're not having to pull everybody up the mountain to go do a carry out, which reduces, obviously keeps people available, but also reduces the number of people we have to take up the Kank. So,
Thank you for that. That's clarification.
yeah. But I mean, if we have any discussions about it, we can always chat and
Yeah.
figure it out.
Well, thank you for coming.
Absolutely, it's nice to meet you
We'll
guys.
see you at least twice a year.
Yeah.
Nope, no, welcome aboard. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, if you need anything, you guys have my
Congratulations.
contact number and feel free to reach out and come down and visit. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you very
Maybe you
much.
don't want that.
All right, have a good night. Nice
Thank
to
you.
meet you.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, right then. Nothing new in the chapel.
Do you want me to remove the chapel until we get
Sure,
ready to
until
do
we
their
are done.
construction
Yes,
and
please.
Okay.
Yes. NHDOT Project 29597. The 2024 Select Board will work with Project Manager Jason Ayotte to schedule a public information hearing sometime after April of 2024. Other business, Planning Board.
I did not make the meeting, they had one.
You
this
didn't
week.
make the meeting.
No.
Any
Just-
word of?
I'll give you a heads up on that. I accepted yesterday a 12-lot subdivision for Habitat for Humanity, including a town road from HEB Engineering, and they also have, at the same time, dropped off their copy of an alteration of terrain permit through the state. So I called Sean Wadsworth and let him know that that is here and the clock should start.
Yep.
It's a big rolled up plan. Other than just looking at the cover sheet to see how many lots they were proposing,
Yeah. I imagine that was coming anyways when they bought the property. It was
well,
three
I mean, they did
acres.
go for a conception. They did go for a conceptual, and you know, the planning board told them that there's only 2 driveway cuts there, and our zoning says 2 houses on. You know, so it was either 4 or put in a town road, which
Well,
is
when
very
you go
costly.
above 2, you got a major subdivision too, so.
Right. So you also, I also put Jason Call on notice to keep an eye on it through the summer, because as they start to scrape that, they're gonna run afoul of the land use change tax, and
Yeah.
nobody's exempt from that, even if they
Nope.
wind up exempt for their, ownership
Yes.
and use as a charitable organization.
Correct.
Nobody's exempt from the land use change, so we gotta keep a good eye on that
Yeah.
because they're gonna put in a town road
Of
and
course.
septics and.
No, it's.
Yeah, it's gonna potentially be a pretty big project, so I just give you a heads up. I don't know any more than that, but
Before you guys start, I have just something last night at the Conway Selectmen meeting. It doesn't have a huge impact on us, but it could. And it's something for Albany voters. I would hope that they would reach out. Mark Council came to the selectmen meeting last night in Conway and spoke about HB House Bill 1254. And I'll just give you a quick overview, really simple. It would charge people coming to a hotel or a short-term rental, any place that they're going to come and rent. There's a $2 surcharge on any unit that will come back to the town, not just Conway. This House bill went to committee and it went 10 to 10, right up party lines. So what he called it was a floor fight. So it's going to the floor for a floor fight, and he said he's really surprised because he just thought they would have killed the bill, which is called inexpedient to legislate. So it's taken the next step, not completely, but it's in the door. And I think it might be important to Albany as well.
Mm-hmm.
So what Conway did is take all Carroll County's representatives and put their email on the website for people to reach out to the reps and say, vote for this bill, or be in favor of this bill. This is why. And I would say if anybody's watching, they could take a look at conwaynh.org and just look at everybody's email addresses that they could reach out to the representatives. And I don't think it would be a bad idea if we did something similar as well regarding this HB 1254. The only way it's going to move forward is from support and actually Conway will be submitting a letter of support as a whole. I don't think it would be a bad idea if we joined that train and
What's the funds for?
so it will offset. It'll be like a budgeted revenue
Mm-hmm.
coming in.
Like
from-
revenue share, like rooms and meals tax.
Right.
It'll be like a revenue sharing where I assume the state's gonna collect it? Who's gonna collect it? Because we don't even have a
It'll be like a
database
meals
of
and rooms. The state will collect it and then it
off
comes
the rental
to
of the
us.
room, and then it will come to us during the tax rate setting. The state law, DRA will get how much we get, and
Yeah, so I don't think it would be a bad idea for us to support it. Everybody can think about it. But I can forward you the letter that the selectmen will sign from Conway,
yeah,
and
that would
then
be
we can
helpful.
all decide at
Yeah.
our next meeting.
Perfect.
Yep.
How does that number work? It's a small number.
$2
Yeah.
per room,
Per room, per night,
per night.
so if someone stays 2 nights, they're paying $4.
Yeah.
But we don't even know how many units there are
Think
here.
about all the campsites.
Yeah, well-
Yeah.
True, campsites, and we don't have a lot of other places.
We don't know.
And short-term
We honestly
rentals.
don't know what we have for short-term rentals.
Yeah.
They if they're not registered with Airbnb or what's the other one, Verbo, we don't even know. I mean, they're during COVID. A lot of people.
Still, but if they're registered and it's the state of New Hampshire, it will be added.
Right.
Period. We don't have to do it.
It's nice.
Yeah, like if we had to administer it, it probably wouldn't
It's
be
really
worth
hard
it.
these days to find a source of revenue to offset taxes. And, Conway just went through this reval, and the burden was shifted from commercial over to residential, and people are really hurting. And guess what? Maybe not as significant, but it's coming here when our reval comes through. Unless something happens to the market and we drop. I don't foresee that happening, but we're due for a reval in 2025.
Yeah.
And
So you want to get the letter from Conway and kind of...
I will get the letter and I'll send it down
Yeah.
here to Kelly, and we could discuss it at our or if you could write it up from us And then we can discuss it, and if you'd like to sign it,
Right.
we do. If not,
Okay.
you don't.
Sounds
And I'll
good.
take a look at, what they put on their website
Yeah,
and
and
do
look at
something.
HB 1254. It's just something of interest, and
Mhm.
every
Well-
town could use some revenue.
There should be some revenue from it.
Mm-hmm.
I've always felt that.
Yeah, because
It's turned into a big burden since COVID.
Yes.
it
You know,
has,
not that we don't
exactly.
want tourists, but.
But they're saying like, the services that we provide
Mhm.
and the roads and everything else that a government provides, and the tourists are also taking advantage of that,
Mhm.
and the burden should be spread upon them.
Yeah.
And this is the way to do it.
I think that'll be quite a boom for Conway. That's great.
Yes.
They deserve
I mean,
it for what
Rooms
they-
and meals tax is, and they've done better over the past few years about giving the towns what they're supposed to have,
Mhm.
but they're still not close and they're not caught up
Yeah.
from what they were supposed to. So this is just another venue,
Mhm.
and I just thought it might be of interest to Albany
Yeah,
as well.
It is.
Other, Robitel, Mr. will
Oh.
update the board on his and Selectman Druin's meeting with representative of North Country Council and HEB Engineering regarding the redesign for safety of intersection of Route 16 and 113.
Yes, we met on site with Nick Altamolago from North Country Council and, forgive me, but I forget,
Jordan
HEB.
Pike.
Jordan Pike from HEB. And Curtis Coleman was there, road agent, and Jim and I. And we were all pretty much immediately on the same page. We all knew that it had to be done. It was just a matter of a couple of new ideas, which I think it came out well because we took away the big idea and we come up with a more doable idea.
Yeah.
And Curtis was very instrumental in that because he's heard this for so long, how many
Right.
different ideas they've had. So,
And he uses that intersection, well, so do you.
Yeah.
That
well, I
every
didn't
day.
realize, and Jim can tell you that their trucks don't even come out there. They go down the old rentals and then out because it's
That's
because
the
of
way I go, just.
yeah. And I've been doing it too
So you
since
don't die.
yeah. So I've been
exactly.
doing it too since
Yeah.
I've heard about
That's-
that. So.
That's rough that you have to find an alternate source. So you
Yeah.
don't die.
Well, when you see a convoy of Coleman trucks coming out and they're all turning down a little bit, then that says a lot. I mean,
Sure
that,
does.
so, well, and just a few ideas they have. Standing and looking at it, you can visualize it that incorporating Wildwood has always been a struggle because we need to here and Wildwood's down here, but what we didn't realize is there's woods that could possibly be used to move Wildwood over
Right.
to line up with the intersection. Rather than trying to swing around to get to Wildwood, Wildwood could come. So that's
Sure.
a possibility that HEB is exploring. They are doing the engineered drawing, and this is all through a grant through North Country Council.
Very nice.
And it is. And the HEB is very familiar with the intersection too. He travels it all the time. So Jordan was great. He knew right where to go with it. And he took the consideration that Curtis said about shaving the hill down to get a line of sight. And the biggest question, and we'll wait and see, but a traffic light might be in order because that's a good way to slow people down. And the amount of traffic coming out of 113 is much higher than I think people even realize.
It's,
Yeah.
again, like you said, like COVID, it's brought it all, down to Madison. They're all coming
Yeah.
out there. They've moved up. It's,
And I bet you, I would guarantee there's more traffic come out of there that comes off the Kank that has a light in turning lanes.
I agree.
So they're expediting this. They think they will have a design for us within the month.
Wow.
Yeah. And then it's going to be upon us to squeak the wheel a little bit. I've had a few ideas, and we can brainstorm a little bit about how to push this. Not a 10-year project. It's just not going to work that way. So
Right.
I'd like to definitely get Madison involved. Conway too. It's their road too. I think a lot of towns deal with this that we don't usually think about.
Would that wipe out our prior
No,
project?
it's completely separate, nothing to do with it.
Excellent.
That whole project, it wasn't even part of the conversation.
Great.
So this is all new, and there's a lot of eyes on it right now. So it was,
Excellent.
yeah. And I'm glad Jim was there, and
Any thoughts?
No, I just think it went well, and like Kelly said, we all had, we were all on the same page with what our ideas were to correct it in a much more cost effective than the big plan that was, whatever it was, $30 million
so
job.
they were taking buildings out and everything else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a much better plan, I think. It's much more doable sooner, which is what we need.
Right.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah. So that's great, and we're going to move forward, and we'll wait to hear
That is
from.
awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. That's fun stuff.
That is fun stuff
Making a
for
difference.
you.
Yeah, well, it is. Make a difference, and maybe save a life or two. So.
You just talk Chinese to me.
You heard it first from the lame duck. What do you got, 2 more meetings? Meeting and a
Now
half?
this stuff, yay!
Yeah.
That stuff, ugh.
Yeah, that's good stuff. So we'll keep informed. I did ask him to CC Mark McConkie and all the stuff. 'Cause
Absolutely.
when he catches wind that he doesn't know about something, he's not happy about
Yeah.
it.
I also understand that Rep. McConkey is in favor of this House Bill 1254. So
Yes, and he did speak to that, but he did speak to the other project, this project, and a few other things like that that are coming up. He's writing.
excellent.
He's in the trenches.
We're just
with
trying
all
to
of
make a
it.
safer road for our tourists
Yeah. Well, please.
and residents.
Well, we should put a toll.
And residents. Yeah, put a toll. You'll have to pay it. every day.
$2 a toll.
You'll have to pay it every day.
No, you get a special toll. All right, that's
They're
all I
special,
got.
all right. Correspondence, none. Public comment, none. Non-public session, none. Next meeting, Wednesday, March 7th, 2024 at 5:30, if necessary. Is that correct?
That depends on you, how confident you feel in the budget. Like, that's 1 week before town meeting. I don't think there's anything controversial in the budget or on the warrant. So, if we had a warrant article that was, but I mean, we talked about it. You guys have made your changes. You've double checked them. There may be, building permits or something. But again, if it's something minor like that, I can notice a public selectmen's meeting for the 12th when all 3 of you are going to be here overlapping, and we can have a 20-minute meeting where you can sign. So it's up to you guys.
Well, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah.
12th?
I feel we covered like you said. So,
Put it the 12th.
yeah.
I can't anticipate what's going to happen between now and then. There will be a few manifests because the treasurer's been gone. So I didn't pay any bills this week, but I did payroll. So yeah, I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
however, if you're comfortable with the budget and the warrant,
Very
I
comfortable.
am. I think it's great.
Any thoughts about just making it on the 12th?
Make it on the 12th.
I do have a doctor's appointment that day, so I won't be back until I'll say 5:30. Just to my appointment's at 2:15 in Maine.
What's our schedule for that day? What's I'm new, so.
So the polls open at 10
Yeah.
and close at 6.
Okay.
School usually starts at 7, and then we're right after.
Yeah.
so do you want to try to do it at like,
5:30.
5:30?
Yeah, keep
Okay.
it on the time.
do you guys get stuck counting? Oh, it won't
It's
matter
not gonna
because we'll be
count.
done by 6 anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
it's not
5:30.
Oh shit.
Where's the quality job?
Is there a bleep? 4-second delay.
Don't laugh. I'm sure people have said worse than that in public meetings.
I'm sure too. All right, so next meeting Tuesday, March 12th at 5:30 p.m. And with that,
So we might have to have it in the end of my office because the supervisors may be using
Why
this.
can't we
space.
just have it behind the poles and anybody who wants to come and sit can?
Okay.
That way if we're needed, I mean,
I don't think I'm supposed to be back there.
it's
I'm
fine.
not a registered voter.
You can sit
You
over
guys have
there.
to. You guys have to keep an eye on me, make sure all the stuff in the ballot box.
I think it's gonna be very.
No, I'm saying like behind the supervisor, the checklist.
When we set our table up, yeah.
Yeah.
And that won't be televised because we won't. They'll have a camera in there for town meeting, for school meeting and town meeting, but it won't
They
be
need to set up for town meeting and
After
school
the
meeting, so we
voting.
will
booths
not
and
be
done,
televised on March 12th for our selectmen meeting.
just for the
Yeah.
town meeting. Which I guess I should probably ping Bill. I'm sure Bill knows, but I should ping him about that.
I
March
spoke with
12th.
him and he said you did reach out, so
I did?
I said, did Kelly reach out? And he said, yes.
Oh my goodness.
Well, good job.
But reach out again anyways.
Early onset.
You're on
dementia.
automatic
Can you
pilot.
have early onset?
Sheriff's Department,
Can you have early onset dementia when you're 65?
57.
That's early onset. Okay.
That's why we need a coach.
Okay, so the 12th at 5:30.
12 to 5:30. With that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second,
I said entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Oh, wonderful. 6:06 p.m. Thank you.